What's up, YouTube? It's another day with the one and only Billy J. This week I want to talk about the Winter Olympics coming up next year in Sochi, Russia. And I want to throw it out there for discussion as far as whether or not the U.S. should boycott the Winter Olympics because of Russia's strict anti-gay laws. Now, as a gay person, I wholeheartedly support any LGBT member that's an athlete that participates in the Olympics, no matter what country they're from. But being an American, I support my American LGBT athletes more so. But I am really conflicted as far as whether or not we should boycott the Olympics just because of Russia's laws. Because for me, the Olympics isn't just about politics and everything like that. It's more about the showmanship and the athleticism of the athletes that spend so much time in preparation for the Olympics. Now, I of course do not agree with Russia's anti-gay laws, and I believe they are extremely harsh, and I definitely don't agree with the neo-Nazis kidnapping gays and humiliating them and doing God knows what to them. And my heart goes out to any LGBT member that is in Russia that has to go through this. But I also don't believe that the Olympics is a place for politics, sort of like any sports venue. For instance, I'm a Steelers fan and from Pennsylvania, which is generally a blue state. But I'm not going to boycott another team just because their team is from a red state and I do not agree with Republican ideology. And boycotting the Olympics just because they're held in a country that we don't agree with their laws doesn't seem quite fair. And it doesn't seem quite fair for the athletes and participants of the Olympics that have trained so hard for the past 4 years. Other countries have had human rights issues, sort of like China. China has a big problem with human rights, and yet we still went to the 2008 Summer Olympics there. The United States has had a terrible record on civil rights, and we still held the Olympics and weren't boycotted because of the way we treated blacks in the South or the LGBT community up until the 90s. Not to mention, we did still participate in the Olympics in Nazi Germany. So I do agree that we should still send our athletes on a voluntary notion that if they are LGBT, they can opt out of going to the Olympics if they so choose to. Or they can go forth and kick that Russian ass. Now, as far as the IOC stating that the athletes must comply with Russian law, I kind of have to agree with that. Because unfortunately, it is held in Russia and they must follow Russian law. When traveling or visiting anywhere around the world, one must comply with the local laws and customs and not just be an arrogant, ignorant American and say, hey, I'm an American, I just follow American laws, I don't care about your laws or anything like that, and not have to suffer the consequences. For instance, I am a gay man living here in Kuwait, and I can't go out and be like, oh, I'm going to open up a gay bar and nothing's going to happen because I'm an American. Well, unfortunately, things will happen to me because it's illegal to be gay here in Kuwait, and also alcohol is illegal, so I can't necessarily open up a bar. So as a result, I would have to suffer the consequences and go to a Kuwaiti jail, which isn't fun. Not that I've been, but I've heard the stories. So the IOC is clamping down on any protests by the athletes. Like, one of the athletes had the rainbow-colored fingernails, and any other outward support of the LGBT community is being clamped down. So maybe one thing that the LGBT athletes can do is perhaps get a tattoo. That way the IOC can't really say anything, or maybe they'll just make it cover it up. I don't know. But perhaps those athletes could get a tattoo on an exposed area, that way that it's visible at all times in their event or when they're on the podium. But for me, as far as any boycott is concerned, I think it should be on a personal basis. So if a gay athlete did not want to participate in the Olympics, then he or she can opt out as opposed to have a whole country opt out and not allow any athlete to participate in the Olympics. That is just some of my views on the subject. Put down below some of your views on whether or not we should boycott the Olympics by not going there, or by not watching the Olympics on TV, or boycotting any other way. And my thoughts and prayers go out to any LGBT member in Russia that is getting harassed by the law, or by the neo-Nazis, or by anybody else. And hopefully one day Russia comes out of these dark times for the LGBT community. Well, that's going to do it for me. Remember, peace, love, unity, respect. Peace out, guys.